Good morning, YouTubers. Here's your zip code for Farik. Matt Shiny here in the 92805 in this Saturday, August 2nd in sunny Southern California at the ZCF Studios, excuse me. And today's zip code, or I should say this week's zip code, is in the state of New Mexico, 87749, a place called Ute Park, UTE, after the Ute Indian tribe. And before we go off into this particular zip code, I want to talk about New Mexico in general for a second. New Mexico has a peculiar liability among the 50 states in that there are people in this country, some of whom actually run things and or are in customer service, that don't know that it's part of the United States. I know this because I have a cousin who lives in Lordsburg, which is the other side of the state from Ute Park, and he's had the experience of having his credit card declined because, quote unquote, he was a foreign customer. Even though he lives in New Mexico, which is one of the 50 states, became one in 1912. And others have reported similar things. In fact, you look at any New Mexico license plate, they all say New Mexico, USA on them because of this problem. There are a lot of people that don't know New Mexico is part of the United States. It's an issue, believe it or not. Anyway, 87749 Ute Park, New Mexico is in the northern part of the state, Colfax County. It is between Taos and Raton. For those of you that know where both those are, and even for those of you that don't, it's still there. Taos is well known for where it is in the mountains there, the San Cristo Mountains, and Ute Park is just to the east of that. And Raton is the last exit off of I-25 before you hit Colorado. Both are stunningly beautiful places. I've actually been to Raton. Raton is about 54 miles to the northeast of Ute Park. Forested pine mountains over there. In Ute Park itself, it's still pine forest, but it's more of the pinyon variety, the smaller pines, more open. Ute Park's at 7,700 feet, a little more than that, and so very definitely elevated. In fact, a lot of people don't realize this about New Mexico also is that it's an elevated state, so extreme summer heat is not really as big a thing as people might think it is. It's not Arizona. The lowest point in New Mexico is 3,000 feet, so everything else is higher. So the altitude makes things a lot more different for weather. We'll get into that in a second. 87749 is 50.1 square miles. There are 63 people that live here. It is just east of the Cimarron Canyon State Park. Essentially, it's a scenic route on the way to an even better scenic route known as the Enchanted Circle, which begins and ends in Taos. The Enchanted Circle surrounds Wheeler Peak, which is 14 miles from Ute Park, and it's the highest mountain in New Mexico. Baldy Peak is even closer at 10 miles away. It is about the third highest peak in New Mexico. So you're up here. When you're even at Ute Park, you're within very, very good views of these two mountains. We won't go too much more in the Enchanted Circle because it's not Ute Park. As I said, again, Ute Park's to the east of this. But I took a look. Very scenic, very nice, very kind of arid, even though it's forest. It's quite a ways from, apart from Taos and Raton, 42 miles northeast of Taos, it's 173 miles northeast of Albuquerque, and about 110 miles northeast of Santa Fe, so it's a little ways from those places. Pretty close to Colorado. Nobody famous necessarily is from here. I think they all come to here and they stop on the way maybe to get a candy bar or a soda drink or something on their way to the Enchanted Circle Drive. Anyway, today's weather, right now it's 75 degrees and 57% humidity. High of 87, low of 49. Note the drop for the low. Tomorrow will be 90 degrees, high, 53 low, and it's sunny. 88 for Monday, 45 low, sunny. And then on Tuesday it'll be a high of 93 and a low of 50. And by Friday there'll be thunderstorms coming. So that's Ute Park, New Mexico, 87749. If you hit like. If you don't, hit don't. And leave a comment in the comment section below, whichever. And subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.